Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today we're going to be dabbling a little bit in astrology and we're going to be talking about Chiron. I will admit, for the longest time I was calling this Chiron, spelled Chiron, but I actually looked it up and it's Chiron. So that's me and my horrible way of pronouncing things, but it doesn't matter. Now the cards you see here is from the Mythos Tarot, which is right here by Helena Elias. And it's got all the Greek gods and all the mythology stuff in each tarot card. And so she has Chiron as the Eight of Coins, because it kind of reminds us, like, he was the healer for Greek mythology. He was the one that helped Hercules. He's the one that helped all of them. And it was a poisoned arrow accidentally shot by Hercules that brought his end. But as he was immortal, he was not able to die just, out from his pain. He suffered and suffered and suffered. So the story goes, he went to Zeus and he asked him for a trade. Zeus had imprisoned and was torturing Prometheus, because I believe he gave fire to the humans. So we all have Prometheus to thank for that. And so he did a trade, Chiron did. And he said, if you'll free Prometheus, then you can end me. And that is how the story goes. The Eight of Coins shows that dedication, that working for it and everything. That shows the harder we work, the more we perfect what we're doing, the better it can be. Studying, working towards our goals, creating our crafts, perfecting it as much as we can, but perfection is not needed. Now, what I'd like to do is talk a little bit more about Chiron and its point in astrology. Now, it is it's not really an asteroid, it's not really a planet. It's out there between Saturn and Uranus, and it's the wounded healer. So it's all about that wound inside of each and every one of us that we have, that's in different places around the zodiac wheel, that we have the power to heal. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to set this guy right over here so he's got that power, he's got that energy. And we are going to work with the Weiser Tarot, and I'm going to go through each one of the zodiac signs, and we're going to talk about, really simply, I'm not going to go into great detail or anything, but we're going to draw a card for each of these signs to see how we can heal these parts of ourselves. Now, I got my stuff stuck right there. I've got my handy dandy notebook right here. You see all the different stuff that I have written about it. And over here, I have very, very simple, extremely simple little meanings for each of the zodiac signs. So we're going to go through one at a time. It's not going to be in any order. And I love doing zodiac things this way, because everybody expects, you start with Aries and you end with Pisces. And you can go backwards. You can start with the zodiac sign it is now. With the time of the making this video, it is Cancer season, so you could start with that and end there with Gemini. But that's not what we're going to do. I'm going to use these awesome coins from Mystic Metals coins, Mystic Metals Divination coins, and they're the zodiac seasons. We're going to pull one at a time. I'm going to get the deck out of here so we don't have to sit there and do it. And I think I should shuffle beforehand so we get the energy and the idea going. That's why I have the card right here, so we have that energy. We're talking about Chiron, that wounded healer, that centaur, that helped everybody else and in the end couldn't help himself. And if we're able to heal our own wounds, we're able to see what they have to teach us, then we absolutely can help others heal theirs. So as always, I want to begin this by thanking the cards for thanking the guides, my guides, to help share us the answers, empowerment, insight, and guidance that we need to take control of our lives, to feel that confidence, to heal our own wounds. Now, each of us has so much power to give. Each of us has so much more than we even realize. That Chiron, see, I did it. I called it Chiron. That Chiron in our birth charts. And if you want any help learning your birth chart or anything, I'll be happy to help you with that information. I'm just studying this, just like I always study the tarot. I am constantly a student of all this divination, of all the astrology and numerology and tarot. It's all just a story, a lesson, a teaching that's never, ever, ever, ever going to be stopped teaching me something. So as always, I want to thank the cards for giving us this power, for giving us this voice to help us heal our wounds, each and every one of us. Now, the work, we can get the idea what the cards have to share, but that work has to start from within. So who are we going to start with today? Let's get the coins out and pull one out. Who do we have? We get to actually start with the centaur themselves, Sagittarius. How cool is that, Centaur, the sign of the centaur. So who or what card says that we can heal that Sagittarius energy? Now let's get the cards fanned out, and then I'm going to get this notebook back out. And Sagittarius, if your Chiron is in Sagittarius, it's about feeling misled. And a lot of times, you know, a lot of us can feel that way, being misled. Sagittarius is the sign of the truth seeker. It's the sign of the optimistic sign, the centaur that has the air and shoots for the stars and remains optimistic and learn as they go. But truth, and even as it comes, like, was bluntly a word? Yeah, we'll say bluntly. That, you know, Sagittarius focuses on that truth. And when we feel misled, I say we, because I'm very much a Sagittarius as well. When we say we have that power to be blunt, we be truthful. You know, the truth hurts sometimes. So when we're misled in life, you know, that can fill us with doubt about ourselves. That can fill us with, you know, not believing in our worth enough. Now, as I look at the cards, you know, on the screen and everything, it's definitely this one that's calling of how we can heal that wound of being misled in our lives. Rest and reflection. That absolutely makes sense, doesn't it? That rest and reflection, just like that soldier does. He's been through a lot. We've been through a lot. That Chiron in Sagittarius, it says you've dealt with a lot of stuff in your life. You might have been misled more than once in your life, but taking that time for rest and reflection to decide what the past has to teach you, to find that truth within. There's that sword on the bottom. It reminds you that all those times that you've been misled, all those things that didn't work out, you know, it makes you stronger. The saying is, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. And it's very much that energy there, you know, taking that time to learn from those misleading times, taking the time to learn from the ones that might have hurt you, might have hurt us. It's time to take that time so that we can learn what it has to tell us, so we can see ourselves as that strong foundation and find that confidence to believe in ourselves and have that strong mind we need to begin the next chapter. So taking that time to rest and reflect, Sagittarius, is absolutely how you can heal that Chiron in Sagittarius. Okay, I'm going to set this card right back up on the deck. You know, I know it's right there, so I don't know which one's going to come up next. I'm going to set that right over to the side. And which sign in Chiron are we going to be healing now? There we are, and it is Cancer. So that's the energy of the season right now. Now, the energy of that in my simple little sayings right there is childhood dysfunction. So like in Cancer, you know, that's the mother of the zodiac. That's the one focused on family. So if you've had a messed up family, you know, parents divorced at an early age, they don't get along, you don't get along with them or things like that, that can definitely be a wound that you have. So how are we going to heal that? The cards tell us. It's this one right here. Kind of bounced. There we are, and it's the Page of Swords. Now, the Page of Swords, and it's interesting, Sagittarius and Cancer both have that energy there of the suit of swords and the suit of the mind. And it reminds us, like, the wound is likely caused by negative emotions, but taking that time to clear out those negative emotions can help us find that knowledge that we need. And that's the Page of Swords energy, useful information. So those experiences of the past, that wound, can help give you that useful information you need to make your own family, your own control, your own life feel in control and have that confidence that you need to take control of it, to heal that inner child. You know, just because the past wasn't kind doesn't mean the future can't be better. Learning from those experiences of the past, you know, slicing through the doubt, slicing through that negativity and finding your own truth and following it, utilizing that information from the past can absolutely help heal that wound within, heal your own life and heal your own family, and perhaps even help others heal theirs as well. So the Page of Swords, feel like it makes a lot of sense right there, you know, taking that time to heal that inner child because of the people of the past, you know, might not have appreciated you, might not have, you know, saw the worth that you are, might have caused you to just feel like you weren't, you didn't matter. Now, in the here and now, you absolutely do. So finding that confidence and that wisdom within, trusting yourself and taking that time to heal that inner child and knowing that your own family doesn't have to be the same as the family of the past can absolutely help you make the life you want to be. So there is the Page of Swords. I'm going to set that one aside, set this one aside, move right on our way. And who is up next? There we have it. It is Scorpio. Scorpio is the fixed water. So we went through the cardinal, from the cardinal water to the fixed water. And that's going to be, what does my saying say? It's very important that I keep notes because I have a horrible memory. Scorpio right there is being controlled. Nobody likes to be controlled, right? Nobody wants that feeling. So how do we alleviate that? How do we heal it? We have it right there. Work together. card of collaboration there, astrologically connected to Capricorn, and you have that energy of there reminding you don't have to go at it alone. Now, if you have that mindset, you know, that fear of being controlled or that wound of being controlled in the past, it might be hard to trust others. But finding those people that just kind of get you, that understand you, and asking for advice and assistance with things doesn't mean you're being controlled. It means that you're willing to work together with others. And sometimes the pain that we feel, a lot of times actually, is a lot easier when we vent to someone. We have those people around us that can help us get over that, help us find that control and that confidence. You know, that's absolutely says, you know, that feeling of control can make you feel like you can't trust people anymore. But the Three of Pentacles appearing here says you can feel grounded and safe and comfortable when you do find those ones you can trust, and when you feel like you can collaborate with others in order to achieve your goals. And part of feeling comfortable and safe is healing that wound within. So, you know, ask for help, ask for assistance. It absolutely does not mean that you're being controlled or need to feel like you're being controlled. There's people out there that are willing to help. You know, there's the suicide hotlines and everything out there. I think it's 988. You don't quote me on that, but you can ask for, it's like people that you don't even know, people online. There's people out there that will have your back and help you. Absolutely. So don't feel like you have to go at this alone. Ask for assistance, ask for advice if you need it. Collaborate with people to create things. That absolutely doesn't mean that you're being controlled. Okay, we're setting that one aside. Who is next? Set Scorpio aside. And it is the dueling fish of Pisces. Set that right there. Pisces energy there with Chiron in Pisces is right here, and it's being bullied. Now, those, again, it can be in so many different aspects, so many different ways. That's just a short way of looking at it. And, you know, high school, middle school, and things like that, we absolutely, most of us were probably bullied in one way or another. I'll tell you personally that I was bullied in the sense that I was called Bucktooth Beaver for most of my high school and teenage existence. It was really annoying. I have an overbite. You don't actually see it because you don't see my face. But yes, everybody, likely, you know, a lot of us at least, if you weren't bullied, I am extremely happy for you and a little bit jealous. Yes, because I was bullied. But Pisces, you know, that a lot of that can go to their heads. Take Chester Bennington, the lead singer of Linkin Park back in years ago. You know, he had it in his songs. He had it in the words. I don't know if he was bullied or not, but his own head was bullying him enough that he gave up. So don't give up. Don't let those bullied feelings make you think that you aren't good enough in the here and now. How do we heal this wound? Tarot, tarot, tarot. It's this one right here. And it's the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords is not afraid of chaos. He's not afraid of conflict. He actually absolutely embraces it and relishes in it. Like, look how he's looking back towards the past. Look how he's looking at that Eight of Coins, that Chiron illustration right there. He's saying, I've got this. I've got this. I've got this strong, confident mind. All those people that wanted to bring you down, they made you stronger. So if your Chiron is in Pisces and you're feeling like overwhelmed and that inner voice is bullying you because of the bullying in the past, take control, clear that mind, take that energy there and say, I am enough, I am worthy of it, and trust that mind of yours to get you forward. You know, those people are behind you. They're not there anymore. Don't let those opinions and things of the people of the past cause you to doubt yourself in the here and now. Face the chaos with confidence, learn from those experiences of the past, and again, here's the sword of truth right there. So it's just like that energy that we've met before, you know, the Page of Swords, the other swords card with the energy there with the Sagittarius, all of that has that truthful with the Four of Swords. You know, taking that time to clear that mind. A lot of the mind, the stress that we feel in our minds and the overwhelming feelings and those wounds come from that those negative emotions that we still hold on to about it. So taking that time to clear that mind, to know I overcame that, I can overcome anything, can help you stay confident in the face of any confident chaos that you face moving forward. So that is the energy for Pisces. Who is up next? Aries. Aries is next. I love doing it this way, and I'm trying to keep it really, really short because, you know, you kind of have to watch the whole video to see when yours is, and everybody's different. You might not even know where your Chiron is in your chart, and I absolutely invite you to comment on this video, message me on any of the socials or anything, and I can help you find that, or simply type it into Google. Cafe Astrology is who I use the most, and it'll give you where that Chiron is in your chart. It kind of looks like a K, If you can kind of see that. I was trying to do sign language there. K with a little tiny circle at the bottom, like a pregnant K, if that makes sense. That is the symbol on there, and you'll find it right in your chart, and that's where it is in your sign, about one of the 12 signs. So we're focused on Aries now. Aries is fear of failure. That makes a whole lot of sense, because Aries are the leaders. They're the ones taking action on their ideas. They're not afraid to take risks, and not always are those risks going to pan out. So you have that fear that you're going to fail. So what can we do to alleviate that fear? It's reversed. So we're talking a little bit about the reversed. I'm not a fan of reverses because I feel like it's a mindset. The fact that it was reversed kind of has that energy there of holding on too much of the past. The Queen of Swords leads because she's felt failure. She's felt negativity. She's felt pain, sadness, all of that stuff. And so maybe that's why it was reversed, because you're holding on to that pain. You failed in the past, so you're going to fail again. That might be that mindset. But that Queen of Swords, unlike the Knight of Swords we met just a moment ago for the energy of Pisces, or Chiron and Pisces, the Queen of Swords is looking forward. She has that sword. She has that truth. She has that inner wisdom and power because she learned from those experiences of the past. So learn from those experiences of the past. Arians with the Chiron and Aries, take that time to learn from those experiences. Find that strength and that confidence and that truth within, because that stuff didn't stop you. All of those experiences, it's a song by Three Doors Down. It's called Only One You've Got. Your past does not define you. It tells you who you're not. So don't be afraid to take those lessons, to utilize them, to learn from them. Leave those negative emotions behind and take control. Heal that wound by saying, I can learn from these experiences and find success. I'm not going to fail because I've learned from the experiences that I've failed at before. So she leads. She's a queen, so she has compassion and kindness. So have compassion for yourself, kindness for yourself. Find that confidence because of all the things you've lived through in the past. You've got this. You are in control. You are the leader of the zodiac. So you have that energy there with Chiron and Aries. That Aries, and actually Chiron is in Aries right now until 2026, I believe. So that energy is there for all of us, taking action on that pain, facing that pain so we can learn from it and move forward. Moving forward now, setting the Queen of Swords on the top of the deck again. And who is up next? Libra. Libra is up next, and Libra is actually astrology connected to the Queen of Swords, so that's interesting. It kind of flowed there. And Libra, according to my little notes right here, is abandonment. Now, Libra is the zodiac sign. It's the cardinal air sign of the zodiac. And like Cancers, in the sense that they're there for other people. They want to lift them up more so than they do themselves. So it absolutely makes sense to me that Librans, like Chiron and Libra, you're afraid that your significant other or your spouse is going to leave you, or your loved ones or the people you care about might leave you. So that's definitely a fear that someone can have. Now, how can we heal that? It's this guy right here. Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is all about appreciating your victories no matter how small they are. And I get this strong feeling here, Chirons in Libra. It's that you need to appreciate yourself. See your self-worth. I know a lot of that energy, you're fearing of abandonment, comes from external people. Those people terrified that they're going to leave you. But at the end of the day, you are enough all on your own. Celebrate those victories. Celebrate your worth. Learn from those experiences of past. 6, that is the Lovers of the Major Arcana and self-reflection. So reflect on those past. Reflect on how awesome you are all on your own. And then you're able to maybe heal that part of yourself, find that worth that you are, and then the other people that you're scared that are going to leave you will not leave you because they see your worth. So absolutely, I get that strong energy right there with the Six of Wands, Chirons and Libra, that whole energy there of just seeing your own worth, celebrating and appreciating who you are all on your own. Now, who is up next? That one. I love this illustration, like on the coin, because it's just so pretty, and that reminds us of Virgo. Virgo is the Virgin of the tarot. It's the mutable earth sign of the zodiac, and it's just a beautiful little coin right there, isn't it? I love how the sun or the light just shines on it. There we are. And Virgo, according to my notes, is perfectionism. That relates right there to that 8 of coins, because it's the 8, 9, and 10 of the decans of Virgo that the 8 of coins represents. And so that energy there, perfectionism, and Virgo is very, very, they are perfect in what they do because they work hard for it. But perfect is not the point, Perfect is not necessary. Nobody's perfect, so stop feeling like you are. it's very much Virgo energy with the 9 of Pentacles right there. It's kind of connecting with that. And, you know, she's in control. She has, like, she's worked hard for it. She's found success, so she's able to buy herself whatever she wants. So perhaps Virgo, or Chiron and Virgo, this energy appearing for you in this, with this illustration and the meaning of this card and everything, could be saying that you could go out and buy something that you feel is perfect instead of feeling like you have to make it yourself because you've earned it, you've worked hard for it, so you absolutely can do that. But the illustration here in the Rider-Waite-Smith energy of this 9 of Pentacles shows that bird with a hood on it, and it shows that glove, you know, it's being distracted by that perfectionism, thinking that you have to be perfect, when again, nobody needs to be perfect. You don't have to perfect everything. You know, Virgos are very, very focused on the attention, the details. They know how to plan for things and all that. So you absolutely earn this. You know, go out there and buy yourself something that's you feel is already perfect, and that can just bring more beauty in your life. That can make you feel like you have enough, because you don't have to do it all on your own. You don't have to plan it. You can absolutely go out there and get yourself something that you feel is perfect, so it can feel like you're in control. But again, the hooded bird, and it's kind of the energy of the 4 of Pentacles here too, that money isn't everything. You know, get out there and enjoy nature. That's kind of the energy I'm seeing there too. 9 is the number of the Hermit, the major arcana. That's also your major arcana card with the energy of Virgo there. But healing that time by healing yourself and healing that wound by taking the time to look within and finding that ability to just say, I don't have to be perfect. I'm perfect just the way I am. So I'm going to set Virgo aside, set the card on top here, and move right along so I can send you guys on your way and heal those Chiron wounds. There we are with Aquarius. Yes, there is. The symbol is really easy to see, the words not so much, so the symbols are helping a lot. The water bearer of the tarot, or zodiac, not tarot. And here is what I have it said. It's isolation. And Aquarius is, you know, they're not everybody's cup of tea. I personally think they are the greatest sign of the zodiac, with Chiron in that, you know, it might hurt that other people don't see your worth. It might hurt that you don't get along with everybody, you know, that your thoughts and your ideas and everything just aren't everybody's cup of tea. So how can we heal that feeling of isolation, of not being like good enough and around other people? The Ace of Wands. Now, Aquarius is the fixed air sign of the zodiac. So we have that energy of utilizing logic in everything that you do. It relates to the King of Swords of the tarot and the Star of the major arcana. So, you know, you have that star power, you have that passion, you have that wisdom. But when that mind overwhelms you, it makes you think that you can't follow that passion. That's, I feel, what the Ace of Wands is here to say. You know, trust those passion ideas. Trust yourself. Even if you're not everyone's cup of tea, it doesn't matter. When you're passionate about what you do, it doesn't feel like work at all, and you absolutely can have that control and that confidence to go after your dreams and make your life what you want it to be, because you know, you have that. You have that strong, confident mind. You're able and willing to think outside of the box. You're astrologically connected to Uranus, and you have that ability to just, you know, follow your dreams, be a little bit weird, innovative, proud, and all of that. So by healing that part of yourself, you know, being afraid that you're going to stick out in the world, embrace it. Embrace that ability to follow your passion. Be weird and proud, and take those ideas that you have and run with it. Don't be afraid to do so. That is Aquarius's energy there with Chiron. And who is next? We're getting close to the end. There we have it with Gemini. Gemini is actually my personal placement of Chiron. And that, according to my paper here, says that it is feeling left out. Now, personally, I can do a little bit more with Chiron than I can do, or Chiron and Gemini, than I can do any other sign, because that's, like I said, mine. And it's the sign of the twins. So I've always seen this as the biggest wound that I personally have is the loss of my brother, because he died in a car accident back in 2009, and it still hurts to this day. Almost like I can walk through it, I can get through it, you know, it doesn't hurt as much as it used to. But that, you know, sign of the twins, that's my greatest wound. It's also my greatest strength, because it's given me this gift, and it's given me the empathy and the ability to be there for others that have lost loved ones as well. So, you know, that's another thing about Chiron. It's the wounded healer. He was there for everybody else, and he couldn't heal himself. That's just the way the story goes. And it's if we can heal ourselves, so we take that time to learn from those experiences and take these lessons and messages messages to heart that we've gone through, we can absolutely help others heal theirs. So the fact that I've lost my brother and I have that wound and that hole and everything gives me that compassion and empathy to help others through their own pain. So the not isolation there, what was Gemini? Feeling left out. You know, I feel left out a lot. I feel like I'm not good enough a lot. So maybe that energy there, if you've got Chiron and Gemini, you feel that too. What should we do to alleviate it, cards? Like, do you see that one like pop up? It's like that one's it for sure. And again, it's reversed. Interesting. Reverse kind of, again, it's the doubt. It's the thinking that we're not good enough. And if we think we're not good enough, and that's why we feel like every time we're left out that we're not good enough, then we absolutely will have that negative mindset. We won't see our worth. The Queen of Pentacles says, see your worth. See yourself succeeding. You don't need to fit in with anybody else. Focus on what you want. If you feel left out, then put yourself out there. Be the one that everybody can rely on. A Queen of Pentacles, one thing I read, I think it was in the Tarot in Wonderland. It was in the book, a guidebook, and I absolutely loved it, and I use it to this day. The Queen of Pentacles has everything anybody would ever need on her. She's got everything in her purse. She's got everything in her bag. For example, you know, if you have a button that falls off of your shirt or something, you're like, oh no, that button fell off. The Queen of Pentacles energy says, here, I've got the sewing needle and I have the thread and I know how to fix that. So being there, Gemini, Chiron and Gemini, being there for others, you know, showing your worth to other people can help you not feel left out because they'll want to include you. So that one makes a lot of sense and I appreciate that one. Interestingly enough, again, a little bit too much about me and I'm sorry about that. My Chiron's in Gemini, and my sun is in the third decan of Sagittarius, which relates to the Queen of Pentacles. So it's like, see your worth, and absolutely anyone, see your worth, and know your worth yourself, and others will appreciate your worth as well. Who is next? We only have 2 or 3 to go, right? Yes. Who is next? There, right there is Capricorn, I believe. Yes, Capricorn, the sea goat. Capricorn energy here says parenting your parents. That's what my notebook says right here. And that's like Capricorns, like, the Queen of Pentacles relates to the Capricorns very, very much because it's the last decan of Sagittarius and the first 2 decans of Capricorn. So that energy there, you know, you're there for everybody. You focus on everybody. You had to parent your own parents because they weren't good enough parents. That can definitely leave a wound. How do we heal that, cards? The Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is luck and good fortune on our sides when we take the chance and spin the wheel. It's got all of the experiences and everything in the past. It comes right after the Hermit of the Major Arcana, you know, spending time in solitude to learn your secrets of your soul. Spending time learning from those experiences of your past. Those experiences that you had to be there for everybody else. You had to be the parent in your life. That time is behind you. You've got to let it go and spin that wheel and begin the next chapter. All of the things that you did back then, all of the times that you had to be there for other people and they had to rely on you, made you able to rely on yourself now as you take a chance and spin the wheel. 1 and 0 is the number of the Wheel of Fortune, you know, the Magician and the Fool. You are that magician. You are the one that everybody else relied on. So all of those things of your past, all of those experiences give you what you need to spin the wheel with confidence in the here and now. So don't be afraid to let that stuff go. Learn what it has to teach you, and so you can move forward and swim and climb, because the goatfish, you know, the goats can absolutely climb like no other, climbing up sides of hills and everything like that. And they can also, the goatfish, you know, go dive underwater, face those emotions, face that past, so you can learn what it has to teach you and spin the wheel towards the next chapter. Who is next? You'd think I'd have, like, I know who was missing, but I know Taurus's and one other one, I believe. Well, yeah. But there is Taurus. That is the next one that is on this list. It's right here. Material wealth as validation. Now, Taurus is the fixed earth sign of the zodiac. And, you know, we all like pretty things. We all like shiny things. We all like the comforts of home, right? So that energy there, you like your approval of yourself and that worth and everything. Like Chiron is in Taurus. Like you feel like you need money and material things to feel your worth. And you absolutely don't. But here is the card to represent that. 10 of Pentacles. Now, this is often seen as a card of generations of family coming together to celebrate. I always like to see it as past lives and the blood that flows through our veins. So all those ones that came before you, Taurus, they probably worried about that stuff too. You know, that Chiron and Taurus, that wound might be ancestors, it might be lifetimes, you know, that mindset that you didn't have enough and you're not going to have enough now. You know, learn from those people that have come before you. Learn from the Egyptians for that matter, because they put all of their important stuff and all of their material possessions and wealth and everything into the pyramids and thought they were going to take it with them. And then, 3,000 years later, they, people went into the pyramids, found it all, and it was all still there. So you don't have to, you can't. Let's just say that you can't take anything with you when you go, when you take your last breath. So learn from the ones that came before you about that kind of Capricorn energy here too. That 10 with the spin the wheel and begin the next chapter. You know, learn from the ones that have come before you. Learn from the ones that, you know, this is earthy, so appreciate the earth around you. You don't need money to be happy. You don't need to feel like you have to have everything to be in control. Appreciate the blood that flows through your veins. Appreciate the nature and everything around you. And above all, appreciate yourself. You know, 1 and 0, the magician and the fool. Again, you are enough. Heal that wound by seeing your own worth and appreciating all the ones that have come before you. Absolutely. The blood that flows through your veins and the past lives you have under your belt, even if you don't remember them. All of that is wisdom and everything that you can have and take control now. And perhaps, you know, when you leave behind that doubt that you can't have that worth or you don't have that worth, maybe perhaps you absolutely can find it. So that is Chiron and Taurus's answer for healing. Last but not least, the one in here is Leo. Interesting, because Leo is the next sign of the zodiac that we'll meet. Leo, according to my notebook, right here, it's this feeling left out. And as Leo is the showman of the zodiac, I definitely can understand that feeling of left out. You know, it's kind of like that isolation there with Aquarius too, and Aquarius and Leo are opposites of the zodiac. So that's interesting there. They both kind of have that same feeling right there. And even Libra there with abandonment, like they feel like left out too. And I believe feeling left out is probably something that we all kind of feel it sometimes. So how is that going to be healed? According to the cards, there's one right here that's just kind of like sneaky peeky there. Yes. Magician. See your worth, Leo. Or Chiron and Leo. See your worth, know your own power. As above, so below. Trust your thoughts, trust yourself. You are the showman of the zodiac. You know, you might not be everybody's cup of tea, but you have everything you need to begin. You have everything you need to succeed. Chiron and Leo might be about feeling left out, but when you see your own worth and you see your own power and you embrace that amazing individual that you are, you absolutely can include yourself in other things. But remember, the magician there, he doesn't need anybody. He focuses on what he wants. He knows his own worth and he knows his own power. So find your own worth, know your own worth, find that power, believe that you have everything that you need to succeed, and focus on bringing your own magic into into life. Because again, the showman of the zodiac, people are going to take notice. You're not going to be left out. You're going to have that confidence that you need when you take that time to find that magician, to find that power within. Mercury is the astrological correspondence down here. I had a little string right there. But Mercury is the astrological correspondence right here. So, you know, communicate your worth with yourself. Utilize technology, you know, send someone a message and be like, hey, I'm here. Hi, it's like, I exist. I don't know. But that energy of, like, I feel like the magician right there. So see your own worth and power. If you feel left out, find that worth within to include yourself and see your own worth, and you absolutely can take control and have the confidence that you need, that other people will take notice too. Those are the 12 zodiac signs. We're not going to get into the 13th. I'm still studying that. We'll get into that one day. But those are just little looks at each and every one of the wounds that we might have. You know, it's very simple. The inner work is way, way, way harder and more difficult, and, you know, takes more time to do. And if you need help, I will make a spread for this. I will create a spread to absolutely help heal that inner wound, and we'll do more about that. But I just wanted to give you an idea because I wanted to see how well it would work, and I love the cards that came up. And I'm going to do the bottom of the deck before I send you on your way. So it's like a message for healing for all of us, and it is the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups, you see the character right there. They're walking away. They're walking away from what no longer emotionally satisfies them. So this wound that we each have, each one of these zodiac signs, we all have wounds. We all have things in our past, pain that we can't seem to let go of. This 8 of Cups says, let go of it. Absolutely. Find that success and wealth that you deserve. Find that confidence, that passion, and let it lead you by leaving behind that wound so you can move forward, healing yourself and healing others in the process. Isn't it cool how we began with the Eight of Coins and we end with the Eight of Cups there? Eight in the in numerology is success and wealth, so it's absolutely taking that time to heal that wound, putting in that work and effort to do so, and leaving behind the negative emotions. There's the moon, it looks all depressed and everything, it's time to let it go. It's time to heal that wound, people. It's in Aries right now, so it's taking action on it, not being afraid to go and don't being afraid of failing at it. Because remember, my notes for Aries there and Chiron is fear of failure. You're not going to fail at this when you love yourself and believe in yourself enough to actually put forth that work and effort to heal it. So as always, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've never tried anything like this before, so it might have worked, it might have not. I might sound slightly crazy, I don't know, but it was just a look to see what we could do to heal those wounds. So each of us has a little message there, a little work to help us move forward. And like I said, I'm going to focus on this myself, work on it a little bit, and I'm going to make that spread, so that our tarot spread, and I'll share it on the social medias so you could have that to do that inner work as well. And if you want me to help you with it, I'll absolutely do that spread for you and send it your way as well. If you want to book a reading with me with this deck or any deck in my collection, then feel free to comment on this video, message me on the socials, or book one directly on my website. All of that will be in the link below. This is the Weiser Tarot, this is the Mythos Tarot, and these are the Mystic Metals Divination coins, the timing section with the zodiac signs if you are curious. Again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next one.